In this video, we're going to see about triggers in DBMS lab. So we'll start from first question here. So that let us connect to the Oracle database. Now here we're connected. Come to the first question. Create a trigger to check the validity of course code. Should be of 2 digits, cannot be less than 10 and greater than 99 before a row is inserted in course table. So we have something called course table here. Let us see the structure of the course table. I've already created all these tables. This is a course table and it doesn't have any rows as of now. And here we can see we have something called course code, and it should not be less than, it should be a 2-digit number. It should not be 1 digit, or it should not be 3-digit. So we need to write a condition for that. So before that, let us create the trigger, create or replace trigger T1 on the table name. So before that, we have to mention the time when the trigger has to fire before insertion, right? So before insert on the course table, and for each row followed by begin keyword begin, and here we need to write the condition here if new dot course code, if it is a single digit number. So to check that, let us write that if it is greater than, sorry, if it is less than or equals to 10, and new dot course code, if it is greater than or equals to 99. Replace hand with all here. So if it is a single digit or if it is a 3-digit number, these conditions will be satisfied, right? So then we'll raise error, and here we need to give the error code 919 something like that, and 5-digit code. And after that, we just have to print something called failed, and just give end if and forward slash. That's it. Now we can see trigger has been created. Now we'll check this trigger. Now we'll insert some data into the course table. Insert into course US 19061255, and here values, and this table has course code, right? So that has to be a 2-digit number. So now we'll check if the trigger is fired if we give a single digit like 5, and the second one is course name. Let's give it as math, and syllabus, let us give it as part 1, and last number, it isn't of number type, 2-digit number, let us give 54 something like that. And now we can see here trigger has been fired. It says failed here, so we can see this is failed. So what if we give some 2-digit number, that is valid number? You can see the row has been inserted successfully. That's about the first question. And now coming to the second question, create a trigger which does not allow any updation any DML operation over the inquiry table if the name of user is student1. So we'll create a trigger for this. Create or replace trigger T2 before. So any DML operation includes updation, insertion, deletion, and all those things, right? So we'll give before update or delete on the table name, that is inquiry table. I have already created that table. You cannot see it, right? So now it is clear on, and in the next line we'll give for each row and begin keyword, and here we need to write if the user is name of the user is student1, right? So then we need to raise an error. So colon new dot, if new dot name is equals to student1, then we need to raise an error. Application error, and some 5-digit code plus 20 9 0 something like that, and we'll say it as failed, and with semicolon. Now we're going to end if and end the begin statement as well. Over there, trigger has been created. Now we will check the trigger. We'll insert some data into the some row into this inquiry table with name as student1, and we'll check if the trigger is fired or not. This is inquiry table, right? So insert into query yoga 19 cs wi-fi values, and the first one is inquiry number. Let it be something like 11000019. so it is a number type, right? So it now the name, let us give it as xyz name, and course code, let us give it something called 90, and street, let us give some abc, city, ef something that is about city. Inquiry date, here the name should be student1, so let us check with student1 if the trigger is fired or not. So student1, and now let's have to give the inquiry date. Let us give it something 18 December 01. A reference code, let us give it as 10009. Now we can see here the trigger has been fired. It says the error code and failed. So what if we give some other name? We'll check that one as well. Student1, instead of student1, let us give student2 for 18 December 001, and the reference code 09. Now we can see this row has been successfully inserted. So if the student1, if the name of the student is student1, then the trigger fires and it raises an error. It stops the insertion, and that's how about the that's how it works. And that's all about the second question. From the third one, create a trigger that allows no insert operation on fees pay table when the amount amount is less than 10,000. So we have something called fees paid table. So this is the table, and here let us create the trigger. Create or replace trigger T3 before insert on fees paid for each row begin if new dot and the attribute name here is amount. New dot amount is if it is less than 10,000, we need to raise an error. Raise application error that says some error code 2910909 something like this, and failed. And forward slash, that's it, trigger has been created. Now let us check the trigger. We'll insert a tuple into this fees paid table with amount less than 10,000. Let us do that and check the trigger. Insert into paid, okay, 19 says 1255 values. First one, let us give 10009 something, and the date, let us give it as 18 December 01, and here you can see credit check number, let us give something like 010125 something like this, 5-digit number, and we have bank name remarks as null, and the amount we'll give it as 5,000. Not visible, no, 5,000. And now we can see it has raised an error because the amount is less than 10,000. Now we give 50,000. Now we can see the row has been created. That is how it works. And coming to the fourth question, create a trigger to ensure no insertion operation to be allowed in the inquiry table when the inquiry date is above 25th August 2017. So create or replace the table name, sorry, the trigger name, trigger T4, before insert, right? So it talks about insert. So to ensure no insertion operation before insert on the table name, that is inquiry 1255 for each row begin if inquiry date, right? So inquiry, the name of the attribute is inquiry date. So new dot inquiry date is greater than 25th August and 2017. Then we will raise the error. Error. Give some error code here. 20 29 1, something like this, and we'll say it as fail. Trigger created. Now we'll check the trigger. So we'll insert a tuple into this inquiry table with date greater than 24. Let's give 26th August and check the trigger. And now insert into table values. So this is the inquiry table. Insert some values like inquiry number, that is 19, something like this, and the name, it may give XYZ. Ports code, let me give it as 80, and street ABC city, let me give it as ADF. Inquiry date, let me give it as 26th August. August 17, and the reference code, let me give something like 1007. Here we can see the error has occurred. Now we'll check with some date that is less than 25th August. Let us give 24th, and we can see the row has been created. That's how we work with this. That's how we create a trigger for this fourth question. Now come to the fifth question. Create a trigger which does not allow any update operation in the inquiry table. When value of the update statement is not equal to the old value in the table. So we'll solve this. The value of the new the inquiry number, the new tuple should not be equal to the old one. So we'll check that. Create or replace trigger T5. Name it as T5 before insert or date on inquiry table for begin if old dot inquiry number is not equals to new dot inquiry number, then we would raise an error code 2915, and let us say it has failed, and if and in for the begin, and that's it, trigger has been created. Now we'll check the trigger. Now we'll let us try to update the inquiry number, date, inquiry, the table name, and set inquiry number is equals to some previously it may be some value. Now we'll give it as 00111, something like this, and where, let us give where we'll update some tuple, name is equals to Anil. We see trigger has not got fired. Now we'll check with another number here. Now we can see the trigger got fired. Now coming to the sixth question, create a trigger to ensure that no insertion operation to be allowed in the fees paid table when the average of the fees paid amount is above 50,000. So to solve this, we'll declare a variable, and we'll store the average of the amount column in that variable, and we'll check with that variable. Now we'll solve this. Create or replace figure T6 before insert on the table name for each row. Now we'll declare a variable. Declare each amount. This is a variable name, the data type, and we can now we have to insert some value into the average amount. The value is select average of amount column from the fees paid table. We have some column called amount in the fees paid table into average amount from the table name, that is fees paid table. Now that's it, and after that we have to check if the variable name, the value in that, if it is greater than 50,000, we will raise an error and let us say it has failed, and that's it. Now we'll give end if and forward slash now trigger created. Now we'll check the trigger by inserting some value such that the average of the amount is greater than 50,000. I will check if the trigger is fired or not. Insert into fees paid values, and here we can see the first one is the roll number. Let me give something like 10000 itself, and next one is the fees paid date. Let me give it as 18 December 2001, and next one is the check number. Check number happens to be 5 digit. Let me give 24579, something like this, and we have two null values, that is bank name and remarks. Two null values and amount. Let me give it as some bigger value such that the average of the amount will be greater than 50,000 and trigger gets fired. We can see got some error. So this is a number data type. No need to give the string. Now we can see the row has been created. Now the average of the amount should be greater than 50,000. Now we'll try to insert another row. Here we can see the average of the amount is greater than 50,000 now, and we got the error. Fine. This is how all the triggers work, and I hope all the outputs are correct, and thanks for watching.